Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'd like to do an overview video on all of my horror DVDs and Blu-rays. Okay guys, like I said, I want to do a overview video just going over my entire horror collection. I'm not going to talk about the VHS tapes. I already did a video going over all of the different titles I have there. If you have not watched that, go check that out. Go into detail showing off all of those. Today I just want to focus on the 4K Blu-ray and DVD formats that I have. I am not going to go into a lot of detail on the box sets. I'm just going to kind of briefly mention each one, just because I don't want to pull each one off the shelf and unbox them, basically, because there's quite a bit. So I'm just going to kind of start at the top, I guess, and work my way down. So way up here, starting things off, way up in the corner, you see the I Am Legend box set. It's kind of a horror movie. I kind of consider it to be. It is zombies, so I put it up there. Here is the Puppet Master 12 film collection. This is a Stephen King. It has Misery, Dark Half, Needful Things, and Carrie. Saw trilogy. I think just the first 3 films. This is Hellraiser 1 and 2. These are like the Anchor Bay tins. Hellraiser 1 and 2, Evil Dead 2, Maniac, The Beyond, Halloween 4, and Halloween 5. And then this is just a Halloween, like a Japanese box, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. I'll go into a lot more detail on all of these, but it's a sneak peek, I guess. Yeah, I'll go into detail on these in another video. But this is The Exorcist on VHS. Evil Dead, Book of the Dead, way up there in perfect condition. Very happy I have that. This is a Region 2 Hellraiser collection. I think it has the first 6 films, if I'm not mistaken. This is the Herschel Gordon Lewis Feast collection. So this is the actual outer print big cereal box put out by Arrow. Up those are some beta tapes that I think I already went over in my last video. This is the From Dusk Till Dawn trilogy, The Thanksgiving 1 and 2, even though it says 1 and 3, because they said 2 is, disappeared, but it's actually just 1 and 2. This is 200 movies of just horror movies. Sorry about the glare. Yeah, so 200 tales of terror, as it says, but they got a Final Destination trilogy. And then way up here in the rafters, I have One Missed Call. This is One Missed Call 1 and 2. Red Riding. Pretty sure it's horror. Actually, I've not seen that. Saw 5. It's like a collector's edition. Another Stephen King box set with just Dead Zone, Pet Sematary, Silver Bullet, Graveyard Shift, and then this Fright Fest collection, which just has those films right there. So a bunch of public domain titles, basically, but I just like the artwork for it. And then starting things off, I have this first shelf kind of dedicated to box sets, and then it kind of goes into 4K. But I have the Universal Classic Monster movies, which I'm actually watching through all of those right now, all 30 of them, in the process of it at least. The Fly collection, the Wreck collection, the Critters collection, the Omen collection. I love these Scream Factory sets, by the way. Halloween, this is the 15 disc, really hard to find one, I guess. Friday the 13th collection. I'm so happy when they put that out. This is the one that was out of print. This is the Friday the 13th collection as well. This just has the patch and I don't know. It's just like a tin set. This is our first Blu-ray set, I should say. the complete Chucky collection, which out of all of the box sets that these movies have gotten, for whatever reason, I love this one the most. I think it just feels, I don't know, I really like it. The Alien collection, which is the 4 Alien 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nightmare on Elm Street, which I would love if Nightmare on Elm Street got the same treatment as like Halloween and Friday the 13th, like with their individual Blu-rays, but we'll see if that ever happens. The Friday the 13th again. This is the Mask box set, I guess. I don't know what else you would call it. Dawn of the Dead. This is the 4-disc collector's edition, I guess. I don't know. The Outer Print Sleepaway Camp Red Cross box sets. Another Outer Print 30th anniversary Halloween set, which I think it just has Halloween 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm actually not 100% sure on that. Halloween on Blu-ray, the Halloween Extended Cut, the 20 Years of Terror, and then 4 and 5, which is kind of strange that you just get. It's also numbered, but this is the Friday the 13th collection with the hockey mask in it, except this packaging is so delicate. It is, like, you can kind of see right here, it's like starting to crack. So like I really just try not touching that one at all. It really is a delicate box that was poorly designed. But Scream collection, so Scream 1, 2, and 3. Leprechaun collection. This has 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. One of my favorites that I have. Put that back. Nightmare on Elm Street collection. So this is all the films except Freddy. It does not have Freddy versus Jason, or obviously the new movie, or the remake, I should say. Another box set of Alien. I love collecting different artworks and stuff for Alien. You'll see that here. But this is the quadrilogy, which isn't an actual word, but it's just a really cool set. Amityville Horror box sets. And then we got here, these are my 4K horror movies. So I got Alien. I'm going to try to do this with one hand. So Alien Covenant, American Psycho, Brightburn, Dr. Sleep, Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, which I really need to get Evil Dead, or Army of Darkness, and the remake of Evil Dead on 4K as well. But this is the Scream Factory of Halloween. The remake Halloween, which I don't have any of the other remakes. I don't have Halloween Ends or Halloween Kills, but then again, I'm not in a big hurry to get those. The Invisible Man, It, which again, I need to get It Part 2, but just haven't got around to it. Jigsaw, Life, which I think is a really underrated movie. I really enjoyed Life. Maybe it was just because I saw it in theaters, but I need to give it a rewatch. But Overlord. This is the Mondo Steelbook for Pet Sematary. We got the remake of Pet Sematary. And we got this Puppet Master, which I think is like the newest one, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many of those movies, but The First Purge, A Quiet Place Part 2, Resident Evil Final Chapter, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Terrifier 2, Underworld, Blood Wars, which I think is the 5th movie, I don't know, 4th or 5th movie, but Us, 28 Days Later, 30 Days of Night, or this is 30 Days of Night, Dark Days, so this is the sequel of 30 Days of Night. 31, this is 1408 and The Mist. I usually organize my movies by like 4K into Blu-ray, so that's why I guess Blu-ray starts here, and then I go number into alphabetical order. So This would be under 1408, so that's just, I guess, not that it really matters. But this is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, The Aftermath. This is the Alien 35th Anniversary Edition. Aliens 30th Anniversary, which I would love if they continue that on, but who knows with Fox anymore if they'll actually keep releasing those movies. But Alien Resurrection, which I'm missing Alien 3, but I also have it in there. But All Hallows Eve. This is Amityville Horror. This is a double feature, so this has the original and the remake. An American Werewolf in London. Another Wolf Cop. Army of Darkness. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. The Bad Seed. Battle Royale. This is the, I guess this has all of the, or 1 and 2. Yes, so it has Battle Royale 2 as well. The Belko Experiment. Beyond the Black Rainbow. Big Bad Wolves, Black Christmas, Blade, Blade 2, Blair Witch Project, Bone Tomahawk, The Boy, The Burning, Cabin Fever. I think this is the remake. I mean, it's definitely not the original. I think it's, I want to say it was a remake, but Cabin in the Woods, Candyman, Cannibal Ferox, Cannibal Holocaust, Carrie, Chernobyl, Children of the Corn Runaway, which I have no idea what even number that is. Is it like Children of the Corn 30? Yeah, there's so many of those. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, Child's Play, The Cult of Chucky, Child's Play, the remake, which was just okay in my opinion, The Collector, Color Out of Space, which I'm really mad because I remember when this came out, the 4K was, I think I got this used, and I bought it, and then I went to Walmart like a week later, and I realized I had the 4K for the same price that I paid for the Blu-ray, and so I wish I just bought it and returned this, but it was just, I don't know. The Conjuring 2, Constantine, Contagion, Crawl, The Crazies, Crimson Peak, The Curse of La Llorona, A Dark Song, Dawn of the Dead, which this was actually one of the first Blu-rays I ever bought. And I got this before it went out of print. I got it at Walmart for like $8, I want to say. And because I was like, oh yeah, Dawn of the Dead, I want to see, like, I want that in my collection. So I just bought it. And then, a couple years later, it was like a $60 Blu-ray or more on eBay. So I was really happy I got that. But Dawn of the Dead, the remake, which, speaking of Dawn of the Dead, I really, really want the imprint 4K box set that they put out a few years ago. But maybe someday. Day of the Dead, Bloodline, The Dead 2, Dead of Winter, Dementia 13, The Descent, Devil's Due, Dog Soldiers, S. Draco, which I have this under for Donnie Draco 2, I guess. So that's why it's in the D's, not the S's. And whenever eventually I'll get Donnie Draco on Blu-ray and I'll put it next to it so they're kind of together. But for now it's there. Don't Breathe, Doom. I think this is definitely like a newer one. I got this at Goodwill a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago actually. Dylan Dog, The Editor, Even the Wind Is Afraid, Event Horizon, which I would love to get on 4K. Steelbook of The Evil Dead. Remake of Evil Dead. Feast. Final Destination 2. The Final Destination. Firestarter. Flatliners. The Forest. Frankenstein. Frankenstein's Daughter. Fright Night. Fright Night 2. I should say the remake of Fright Night. From Beyond, which, you know, part of me kind of wishes I got the Vinegar Syndrome 4K, but I'm also happy with the Blu-ray. From Dusk Till Dawn. The Gallows. Get Out. The Girl with All the Gifts. Sorry, I'm like all the way up against the other shelf. And Goodnight Mommy. Moving on over here. The Green Inferno. The Guest. Happy Death Day to You. Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Hobo with Shotgun. I Drank Your Blood. Insidious, The Last Key. The Island. I Spit on Your Grave. It Follows. Jeepers Creepers. Jennifer's Body. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Kiss of the Damned. Krampus. Lake Placid 2. Land of the Dead. The Last Exorcist. Lazarus Effect. Leatherface. Leprechaun Returns. Let Me In. Lights Out. Little Shop of Horrors. Mama. Mandy, which I saw in theaters, which was fantastic to see in theaters. It was so fun. Maniac Cop. Mary. Mimic. Misery. The Mist. Mother. New York Ripper. Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. Yes, from, I'm not even sure what year that came out anymore. I want to say 2000. I honestly forget. And yeah, whatever. The remake of Nightmare on Elm Street. Night of the Bloody Apes. The Ninth Gate. The Nun. Outpost. Panic. Also known as Satanic Panic. I mean, this slipcover says Panic, so I figured I'd put it in P's. But Phantasm. Piranha. The Pit and the Pendulum. Playback. Poltergeist 2 and 3. Priest. The Prowler. The Purge. The Purge Election Year. And The Pyramid. And then down here I have Ready or Not. Red State. This is Resident Evil Afterlife. Resident Evil Retribulation, which honestly, I love the Resident Evil movies. I know they're bad, but they're so fun. I really would love to get the 4K box set of all of those, but this is the CGI, or one of the CGI movies that came out. I think I have all of them, maybe some on DVD, but Return of the Living Dead, The Right, Saw 2, Saw 3, which I don't know why I don't have Saw 1 on Blu-ray, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, and Saw the Final Chapter. Scream, it says 5 film set, which is very misleading because it's really just Scream 1, 2, and 3, and then 2 documentaries, but The Shallows, Sinister, Snakes on a Plane, Some Kind of Hate, Split. It says don't say it, hiss it, but Stakelands, The Strangers Pray at Night, Sudden Fear. Suspiria, which is another one that I saw in theaters that I absolutely loved when I saw it. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is another one that I kind of wish I got the imprint, or maybe it's Second Sight, not imprint. The Second Sight set that was released a couple months ago. Of course, now it's out of print, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. This is a steelbook of Texas Chainsaw. And I think, sorry, I'm just trying to open it up with one hand. Yeah, it is Region B, but I still have the movie somewhere down there. Or I think I have it on DVD. John Carpenter's The Thing, which I should mention now that I actually hit a John Carpenter movie. You won't see any other John Carpenter movies in here because I have a John Carpenter favorite director section, so that's why. And then I have the steelbook of The Thing, and then the 2013. I want to say 2013. I don't know. I should have really looked these up before. The remake of the original movie. I don't know. Titan. Trick or Treat. This is Underworld 4, I think. Unfriended, Dark Web, Unsane, The Visit, When a Stranger Calls, and Happy Birthday to Me, Wish Upon, Wolf Cop, World War Z, Wrong Turn 2, Wrong Turn 3, Wrong Turn 5, and remake of Wrong Turn. This is Yoga Hosers. One that actually have not seen. I know it's by Kevin Smith, but I just haven't got around to it. Zombieland. Then we go into DVDs. My DVDs I kind of have partially separated. I mean, you'll see here in the first few sections that are not alphabetical. It's more of by like collection. So these are like Universal Monster movies, and it goes into 8 Films to Die For, or the After Dark Horror Fest, and yeah, you'll see. But Dracula, I love these, just like, even though I have it all on, you know, Blu-ray up there, I love these like red covers or black and white covers with the red text. But Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, Bride of Frankenstein, Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, Creature from the Black Lagoon. And I just have these in the order that they were released in. And then this is the original Phantom of the Opera. So this is the 1920, I believe. Nope. Actually, I don't remember what year. 1925. Yeah, okay. And then these, I love these. I kind of want to try collect all of them, but The Mummy. This is just like the, you know, like these came with all of the films with them. So it's like this is the complete Wolfman with all of the different Wolfman movies. Wolfman and Creature from the Black Lagoon. The only problem with these was like this inner, because it's like it would get caught on like other things, kind of how it is right now, and then it's kind of get all beat up. But then it goes into, these are the After Dark Horror Fest 8 Films to Die For. So yeah, it's just, there was a bunch of, like, they just released these, and some of them are good, some of them aren't. I've seen most of, at least the first section. I also have these in the order that they were released as a set. So this is the first set. This is After Dark Horror Fest 2, 3, and so on. So, but I don't know. Some people really like these, some people don't. I don't know. I guess I should be reading off the titles, huh? But this one is actually, I guess this one's actually pretty brutal, honestly, if I'm being honest. But and then this one, it's Captivity, which it doesn't really fall because it doesn't have the spine like all the other ones, but I mean, that's where it kind of fell, I guess, in the series. But I've actually not seen any. I don't think I've seen any from the third section, or from the third After Dark Horror Fest. But thankfully, these are actually, I mean, fairly cheap too. If you're looking to collect them. But the final was actually, I think, the first one that I saw. I should clarify, these are not like an anthology or anything. It's just, I don't know. I think it's, I want to say it was like, I mean, After Dark Horror Fest is just kind of like a label, just how like A24 is a label or any of those. If I could be way off on that. But then there's also these like After Dark Horror or After Dark Origins, which I'm assuming is like the 5th series in the collection. So I have, there's so many of these, but I feel like the trailers for these usually look cooler than the actual films. But, and the last one here. And then I go into Masters of Horror. I didn't really realize that it had pretty much all of them, except a handful of them, until I was kind of like reorganizing some stuff, and I realized that I had just a lot of them. And I was looking for, I believe, one of these is like directed by like Dario Argento. And that one's Clive Barker, Toby Hooper, like just big names in horror. John Carpenter, Dario Argento. Oh, come on. So again, just fun movies. I still need to dive into more of these. I don't think I've seen that many, but okay. So back into just regular Alphabet. I didn't want to spend a ton of time on all those, but so this just goes right into the regular Alphabet, and then it'll stay that way till the very end. So got 10 Cloverfield Lane, 13 Seconds, 28 Days Later, which I do have on Blu-ray. However, I love this artwork. I'm like, I can't get rid of the DVD. But 28 Weeks Later, 30 Days of Night, 68 Kill. And then this is just like, I don't exactly, 100 Years of Horror. I don't really know exactly what this is. I don't know if it's a documentary or I need to watch that, but I've not seen it. But 247 Degrees Fahrenheit, 976 Evil, The ABCs of Death, Afterlife, After Sundown. Then this is kind of like my Alfred Hitchcock collection, I guess, which I know he's not necessarily horror. He could be just like suspense, but I just have him here. So I have like one of those like presents. This is just like a double feature of his movies. This is a collection of 20 films, and this is another collection of 20 films. I do have he is one of my favorite directors, so I do have the rest of his movies over on the other wall with like directors. So Alice, Sweet Alice, Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection, which these are the exact same discs as what's in here, but I just love the different artworks. So got Alien and Aliens. Then we got Alien Hunter, All Cheerleaders Die, All Souls Day, Alone in the Dark, Alone in the Dark 2, Altered, American Horror Stories, which is like one of these multi-feature packs, which I feel like there's like some solid films in here. Yeah, I feel like, I mean, you can read the titles for you. I think those are all of them, but yeah, 12 movies. Like, I feel like that was one of those sets that actually had some solid films. American Mary, American Psycho 2, Amityville, or the Amityville Awakening, or Amityville The Awakening, I'm sorry. Amusement, Anaconda, Anacondas, which was actually one of my first DVDs I think I ever got. Anaconda 3, and Anaconda Trail of Blood. Okay. Then we got An American Haunting, An American Werewolf in Paris, Anatomy, sorry, Anna, Annabelle, Antebellum, Anthropomorphous, Ants, Apartment 143, Apollo 18, April Fool's Day, Area 51, Army of Darkness. This is the, I want to say, yeah, it's a limited edition, I guess. As Above, So Below, Asylum, ATM, Attack of the Killer Backpacks. One that I actually have not seen, and I'm very curious on. Audition, which, if you've seen that movie, it's a lot. But The Babadook, Baba Yaga, I think that's how you say it. Baby Blood, Baghead, Bag of Bones, Bats, Behind the Mask, Believers, Below, Beelzebub. This is another just multi-pack of 12, I guess, best of the worst, which you can kind of see there's, you know, just some random stuff on there. But yeah, I think this is a Manos, The Hands of Fate. That's probably a big reason why I have that. But Better Watch Out, Beware the Blob, Beyond the Door, Beyond the Gates, Black Sheep, which is amazing. I love that movie. The Black Waters of Echo's Pond, Black Xmas, Blade Trinity, which I think is Blade 3 if I'm not mistaken, and then this is just like a spin-off, Blade 4 I think, but doesn't have Wesley Snipes in it, so it's not great. But Bless the Child, Blair Witch Project 2, I guess this is Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, The Blob Remake, Blood Ranch, Bloody Homecoming, Bloody Murder 2, Bloody Reunion, Bones, Bone Snatcher, Boogeyman, which is just like a documentary on, I guess, just horror icons, Boogeyman, double feature of 2 films that I don't think I've actually seen either of these. So actually, a lot of these I have not seen, I should say, although a lot of them I have seen. Book of Blood. This was another one that I got from Goodwill not too long ago for $1, and I'm like, there's some solid titles on there. Brain Scan, The Breed, Broken, which I've always loved this slipcover. It's so cool. Army, this is Bruce Campbell versus Army of Darkness. So that's why it's under B's, because it's for Bruce Campbell. Still not 100% sure what this is. I don't know if it's I want to say it was like an international cut. Yeah, there's a US theatrical version and a director's cut. So I've not seen the director's cut. I think I've only watched that movie once, and it's been a long, long time. But I don't know if this is the same. I'm assuming this is the same thing. But Bruce Campbell versus the Army of Darkness, just another version of it. Bubba Hotep, Bucket of Blood, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Bug, Butterfly Effect, Butterfly Effect 2, Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I'm sorry, Cabin Fever, Cabin Fever 2, and Cabin Fever Patient 0, Cameron's Closet, Cannibal the Musical, The Car, Carnage Park, Carrie, which I really just feel like no one talks about this one. This is not the original, not the one by Brian De Palma, I'm sorry. And I don't really know if this is it's from 2002. Yeah, I've never really seen people talk about this movie. I have actually yet to even watch this version of it. I've obviously seen the original one, but and I've seen this is the remake. But I don't know why no one ever talks about that 2002 one. Carriers, Case 39, Catacombs, The Cave, which is another one of my first DVDs, actually, I think I got. Chained, Charlie Says, Children of the Corn, Children of the Corn 3, Children of the Corn 5, Children of the Corn 6. This is Revelation, Remake, and Genesis. They made so many of those movies, but Chill, A Christmas Horror Story, Chud, City of the Living Dead, Cloverfield, Cold Prey, The Collector, The Collection, Company of Wolves, The Conjuring, The Cottage, The Crawling Eye, The Crazies, Creature, Creep, I should say this is the one that's in the subway station, and I actually have not seen this one, but Creep Show 2, Crowley, The Crush, Cry Wolf, Cube, which these are borderline horror or sci-fi. I figure they lean closer to the horror elements, so I kind of just put it in here. But Cube 2 and Cube 0, which is Cube 3, which I would like to get. They made I want to say Japanese movie of the Cube series, and I'd actually like to see that one too. But Cujo, The Cured, Curdled, The Curse and the Curse 2, Cursed, and then this is another multi-pack with a couple movies on there, but I've not seen any of those. But The Dark, Darkness, vampire version. Yeah, I have no idea what this is actually. Darkness Falls, Darkness Rising, and Deep Water. Then we got here Day of the Dead, the original one. Day of the Dead, just another copy, different artwork. Day of the Dead, this is the remake. Day Watch, which was one that I've owned for, I don't know, like probably 5-6 years maybe. Have yet to watch it, but The Dead, Dead and Deader, The Dead Next Door, which, fun fact, was filmed in Akron, Ohio. So right around where actually I grew up. There's a couple shots in the movie that you can kind of, you see like the Akron blimp hangar, or the like the one high school is right around the corner from where I grew up that they filmed in, which it's not there anymore, but it's just kind of fun to see, you know, a movie that was filmed in Ohio of all places. So it's just a fun, and I think I know, see, I knew somebody who worked on it or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I've looked into it, but Dead Rising, Dead Silence, which I'd love to get the Scream Factory 4K of. Dead Snow. Well, this is Dead Snow 2. I'm sorry. Dead Space. Dead Time Story. Or Dead Time Stories, I'm sorry. Dead Time Stories Volume 1 by George A. Romero, which is just, I guess, multi-feature. Yeah, or is this just like a anthology? Actually, I do not know what these are. And then Volume 2, which I should watch this, but Decoys 1 and 2. Deep Blue Sea. Deliver Us from Evil. Dementia 13, which I have just because, you know, different artworks. I do have it on Blu-ray, but Demon Hunter, Demonic Toys, Demons 2. And then this is a double feature, which I believe, yeah, I think Deranged was the inspiration for Texas Chainsaw, no, for Psycho, or vice versa. It was, I do not remember which one came first, but one of them is essentially the same idea of Psycho, but Motel Hell is also a fun movie. But The Descent, this is the unrated version, which I also have on Blu-ray, but again, I just love this artwork, so I'm like, I can't get rid of it. But The Descent Part 2, Desperation, The Devil Inside, The Devil's Doorway, The Devil's Rejects, The Diary of Ellen Rimbauer, which I think is the sequel to Rose Red, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken on that. Diary of the Dead, Dino Shark, Disturbia, Disturbing Behavior, Django Kill, Doghouse, Donnie Darko, Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, then we got Dracula, the Dark Prince, the one that everybody knows by Francis Ford Coppola, Dracula 2000, Dracula 2, Dracula 3, Dracula 3000, Dracula Untold, Drag Me to Hell, Dreamcatcher. This is a Drive-In Cult Classics 8-movie collection. Yeah, just some more fun titles on there. Drive-Through, which is Eden Lake, which is a really upsetting movie. So just makes me mad. But Ed Gein, this is like a remake, I want to say, or sequel, I don't know. Eight-Legged Freaks, which is another one that I've owned for years that I just need to watch, along with actually End of Days, which, so both of those I really just need to pop in someday and just get to watching them. The Evil and Twice Dead, The Evil Dead, which is actually signed by Tom Sullivan, who I think see, makeup effects, Tom Sullivan. Yep. And I'm assuming for Scotty, I don't know who that, I'm assuming that's whoever it was made out to be, or made out to. I could be way off on that. Yeah. I mean, it's nice. I found this at a local exchange. It looks like somebody at one point, there was something there too, but that's gone now. They say in the actual paper and not just the case, which is nice because I found that at an exchange and I just had to grab it. Evil Dead 2, The Exorcist, the version you've never seen. So I don't know if the original version is on this disc or not, but I have both of them. But The Exorcist 2, The Exorcist 3, which I actually really like the third one. The Exorcist, the beginning, same exact movie as The Exorcist beginning, just different take, I guess. Exorcist of Emily Rose and of Molly Hartley. So, fun movies, but The Eye, the remake of The Eye, The Faculty, The Fallen Ones, Fear, The Fear, and the Fear sequel, I guess. Fear.com, Fear Inc., Feast 2, Feast 3, Feral, Final Destination 5, The Final Girls, Flatliners, Flight of the Living Dead, which is not great, but I love the setting of it. And speaking of not great, The Fog remake, which, yeah. The Fourth Kind, Fairy Tale, which is another one that I've never seen. Friday the 13th. These, I am going to get real tired of saying Friday the 13th, so I'm just going to say Friday the 13th, Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then these are the deluxe editions. So these are the editions that I want to say these came out. I actually do not remember when these came out, but I do remember seeing these in store, and I remember really wanting to get them, but I was too young at the time. But Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, and so on and so on. I remember working very hard to try get all of the slipcovers for these, because I cannot, no matter how hard I tried, I could not find them with the slipcovers, and I really wanted them with the slipcovers. And so I remember having to buy multiple copies online because I didn't order anything through eBay. I don't really know why. I should have just done that, but I was much, much younger. But Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, the remake, and His Name Was Jason. This is by far my favorite horror franchise. But I absolutely just love collecting different artworks for Friday the 13th. The Frighteners, Fright Night, From Hell, Frozen, not the Disney one, obviously, Funhouse Massacre, Gargoyles, Ghost Ship, which I love the beginning of this movie, The Gift, The Girl in the Photographs, which is not great, but The Glass House, which is another one that I've owned for like a decade and I've yet to watch. It's just one of those movies that I keep telling myself I'll get around to it, but I just never do. Going to Pieces, which is just a documentary on just the horror genre. Golden Years, A Good Marriage, Good Neighbors, Gothica, The Grizzly Maze, which I need to watch that. I have not, I forgot I even had that. The Grudge. This is I think might have been my first Steelbook I ever got. But The Grudge 2. Hack. This is a fun item I have. This is the Halloween limited edition with the lenticular cover. Which, I don't know. I really like that I have that. Halloween. This is the extended edition. Just the regular cover, I guess. 25th anniversary, and just the regular edition. Then we got Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and another copy of Halloween 3. We got Halloween 4, and a slightly different artwork variation of Halloween 4. I love also collecting, I should say, Halloween artworks, because as you see down here, there's just a ton of them. There's 5 and 5. Just, you can see the spines are different. And Halloween 6, H2O, Resurrection. This is Rob Zombie's Halloween. This is the 2-disc and the 3-disc. And Halloween 2. And then also this 25 Years of Terror. So The Hand That Rocked the Cradle. Hangman's Curse, Hannibal. I think it's just, I like both artworks. I think that's why I have 2 copies, but Hannibal Rising, The Happening, Happy Death Day, Hard Candy, Hatchet 2, The Haunting in Connecticut, The Haunting of Molly Hartley, which I just connected that is the same name. So I don't know if these are connected or if they are a famous case or something, but yeah, I have no idea. I need to look into that. The Head, Hell Asylum, Hellfest. This is Hellraiser 1 and Hellraiser 2. Hellraiser, this is the 20th anniversary. I also like collecting Hellraiser artwork variations, I guess. Hellraiser 2, Hellraiser 3, Bloodlines, Inferno, Hellseeker, Deader, Hellworld, and Revelations, which, yeah. I should rewatch this series. It's been a while, but... and then this is also Judgment, which I really didn't like the first time I watched it, but I really should give it another try. Hellride, Hell's Ground, He Never Died, Hide and Seek, High Tension, which I watched this for the first time the other night, it was fantastic. Hills Have Eyes 2, Hills Have Eyes, the remake, and the sequel to the remake, Hills Run Red, The Hitcher, which is, I forget who, yeah, I think this is actually a TV show, so this should probably be in my TV series section, but then we got the original Hitcher movie, The Hitcher, the remake, Hollow Man 2, Horns, the horrible Dr. Bones. This is another multi 8 movie pack, which honestly for a multi feature this has some solid films in it, between 967, Evil 2, Waxwork, Ghoulies 3, Chud 2, Chopping Mall, Slaughter High. I think I mainly kept this because 967 Evil 2, I think for a long time I could not find that on DVD. And so it just has some solid films on there. And then this is just another horror multi-pack that, I don't know, I just feel like there's some great movies on there. But, Horror Vision, The Host, Hostel, Hostel Part 2, and Hostel Part 3, The Howling, The Howling 3, Howling Reborn, which I'd like to get all of those movies, but maybe someday I'll get Howling 2. I think I have Howling 2 on VHS, but House, not the Japanese House. This is, yeah, the Japanese one that's in the, I have that in the Criterion Collection, which I guess I should mention now. If a movie, like the reason why you probably have not seen any A24 or Arrow or stuff, like I have A24 movies there, Arrow and Severin and Vinegar Syndrome and Criterion, all in my boutique labels over there. So that's why there's some, like, you know, I don't have, you haven't seen, I guess I'm not in the M's yet, but Midsummer is not over here, or The Lighthouse, or Hereditary. I'm trying to think of any other ones that were like big horror names that I don't have over here. But yeah, A24, that's a whole nother section. But this is The House 1 and 2. The House by the Cemetery. The House is October Built. And The House is October Built 2. House of a Thousand Corpses, which I would love to get the anniversary Blu-ray edition that came out a couple weeks ago. House of Wax. House on Haunted Hill. The House Jack Built. Or The House That Jack Built, I'm sorry. The Hunt. I Am Legend. Idle Hands. I, Frankenstein. I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. And I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I'll Take Your Dead. Infestation. Infested, which honestly these are just like fun bug movies. I don't know what else to call them, but The Innkeepers, Innocent Blood, Inside, Insidious, Insidious Chapter 2, and Insidious Chapter 3. Interview with a Vampire, Intruder, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, then The Invasion, which is same movie basically. I Spit on Your Grave, I Spit on Your Grave 2, and I Spit on Your Grave 3. It's Alive 1, 2, and 3, which I would love to still get the Scream Factory Blu-ray set of that, but it's not been a big priority on the list. But Jacob's Ladder, I think I got this at Dollar Tree, the remake of Jacob's Ladder. Jaws, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws the Revenge. Jeepers Creepers 2, and Jeepers Creepers 3. Joshua, Joyride, Joyride 2, The Keep, which I think is actually this is a bootleg DVD that I got in a lot at some point. The Killing Gene, Killjoys, or I believe this is I'm not sure because I have the Killjoy 1, 2, and 3. I don't know where this one falls into place, but King Cobra. I love cheesy giant snake movies. They're fun. Knock Knock. Chrome Skull Laid to Rest 2. Lake Fear 2. Lake Placid. Lake Placid 3. Lake Placid Final Chapter. Anaconda versus Lake Placid, and Lake Placid Legacy, which are all so cheesy. Really, the first one is the best one, and then they just progressively get worse. But The Langoliers, The Last Exorcism Part 2, The Last House in the Woods, Last House on the Left, Last House on the Left remake, The Last Witch Hunter, Left in Darkness, Leprechaun Back to the Hood, and Leprechaun Origins. Let the Right One In, Leviathan, Life Force, Lord of Illusions, Lords of Salem, which I'm kind of mad because I had this on Blu-ray with the slipcover, and I watched it, and I didn't like it, and then I got rid of it, and then I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I really shouldn't have gotten rid of it. It wasn't that bad. And I ended up buying a lot of movies, and they had the DVD, so I kept that. And I kind of regret getting rid of my Blu-ray copy, but maybe someday I'll have to upgrade again. The Lost Boys. And then down here we have Lost Boys, The Tribe. Lost Souls. Lost Things, which this is one that I found at, I think it was Mark's, or which is, for those who are not in Ohio, it's like a just like a grocery store. And every now and then they have DVDs, but this actually came from a Hollywood Video, and they had this like a bunch of random DVDs for like, I think it was like 25 cents a piece or something. So this looked interesting, so I grabbed it. It's like almost like a B grade like horror movie. It's been a very long time since I've seen it, but Love Object, Maggie, Magic, Malevolence, Manhunter, Maniac, this is the remake, Martyrs, Mayhem, Mermaid Lake of the Dead, The Messengers, Midnight Meat Train, Midnight Movie, Mimic 2, Mirrors, Mirrors 2, The Mist, which I know I have this on Blu-ray, I believe. Yeah, I think I do, or I have it on Blu-ray. Actually, I have 2 copies of it on Blu-ray. Yeah, I have it in this double feature, and then I also have it over here. So I don't really know why I'm holding on to the DVD. Maybe it's just the artwork, and it might come with some special features that are not on the Blu-ray. But The Monkey's Paw, Monster, or Monsters, Monster Party, Monstrium, Mountain of the Cannibal Gods, or Mountain of the Cannibal God, I'm sorry, Mountaintop Motel Massacre, Mr. Brooks, Mr. Sardonicus, Murder Party, Murder Set Pieces, My Bloody Valentine, My Bloody Valentine 3D, so that's the remake, My Bloody Valentine and April Fool's Day, Naked Fear, Near Dark, Nightbreed, Night's Caller from Outer Space, The Nightingale, Nightmare on Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street, just different artwork, Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Wow, these are not fun to put in. Nightmare on Elm Street 4, Nightmare on Elm Street 5, Freddy's Dead, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and another copy of Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, I feel like these, I would like to get them all in the snapper cases, so I'm just missing these 2. It's mainly just for artwork purposes. I just kind of like how they're all like red. I have them all on Blu-ray, as you saw earlier, but I kind of just like how they're all in the red cases. But Night of 1,000 Cats, Night of the Comet, Night of the Creeps, Night of the Demons, Night of the Demons 2, Night of the Demons 3, Night of the Living Dead, which this was actually my first copy of Night of the Living Dead in this like really slim little case. So this is the, I feel like I got this for, actually, I feel like I paid too much for this at a flea market. In reality, I could have just bought it anywhere else much cheaper. But this is, again, Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead. You guessed it, Night of the Living Dead. Oh, look at that, 30th anniversary of Night of the Living Dead and Night of the Living Dead. So I like collecting different artwork variations for this one as well. And then this is the Tom Savini remake, I guess. And then this one I got picked up not too long ago, but this is the 3D Night of the Living Dead, which I still need to check this out. But the Night Shifter, the Night Stalker, and the Night Strangler, Night Train, Night Watch, which is, I'm still, if anybody knows which one of these like is a sequel or a prequel, I have Night Watch and I have Day Watch. I'm assuming, I'm not sure what years. This is 2006. I'm not going to go over there to get the other one, but both of those I've not seen, and I've owned both of those for a very long time. But the Ninth Gate, which I do have this on Blu-ray as well, but this one has I think some special features, if I'm not mistaken, that the Blu-ray does not. No Man's Land, Oculus, Odd Thomas, One Missed Call, Open Water, Open Water 2, The Order, Orphan, The Orphanage, The Other Lamb, The Others, P2, Pandorum, Paranormal Activity, Paranormal Activity 2, Paranormal Activity 3, Paranormal Activity 4, and Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. I'd like to get that box set that came out of all the Paranormal Activity movies. I'm not the biggest fan of all of them, but I do think the box set is kind of cool. So, Pathology, Perfect Creature, Pet Sematary 2. This is the Phantasm 5 movie collection, which I don't know if anyone watched my other video talking about different box sets that I really want. That is one that I would love to replace this DVD with a Blu-ray box set with all of the Phantasm movies. But Phoenix Forgotten, Pi, Pieces, Piranha. This is Piranha 2 from the remakes. Planet Terror, come on, and Poison Ivy. Well, that's Poison Ivy 2, I'm sorry. Then we got here Poison Ivy 1, 2, and 3, Poltergeist, remake of Poltergeist, The Possession, The Possession of Hannah Grace, Possessor, which this is the I think this is the rated version of it. I kind of wish I got the unrated or the uncut version, but Poltergeist, Premonition, Prevenge, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, Primeval, Progeny, I think that's how you say this, Progeny. Don't know a lot about this. I've yet to watch this. This came in a lot of movies that I bought. Prom Nights, Prom Night 2, the remake of Prom Night, which I think, yeah, so this is I actually have the unrated edition of this, and this is just the theatrical slipcover, which I think I eventually, I don't know. If I ever get a slipcover for any movie, I try to get if the movie has a slipcover, I try to get the movie with the slipcover on it. And I think I originally got the theatrical version of this, and then came across the unrated version. The unrated version did not have a slipcover, so that's why the theatrical version is on there, because I'd rather have the slipcover than not. The Prophecy 2, and the Prophecy 3. Then this is just a 5-movie collection of the Prophecy 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Whenever I get, I definitely want to keep these as individuals, because I would prefer having them individually than just like a multi-feature pack. So I would like to get Prophecy 4 and 5 as well, and then I'd get rid of this. And same thing with this. This is Psycho 2, 3, and 4. For the longest time, this was the only way you could actually even get 4 on disc. But this is the remake of Psycho with Vince Vaughn. Psychopaths. Then I have like a billion different versions of this movie. This is Pulse, which these are all different films. And then Pulse. I'm assuming this is the American remake of this. I'm assuming. I don't know what this middle one is. I need to do some research on some of this stuff. But Puppet Master 9-movie collection. I kept this only because I already have. I think I have already all the Puppet Masters up in that other box set, except for Axis of Evil. And so I was just missing that one. And so then I have Axis Rising. So whenever I get Axis of Evil, that box or this pack will also be going. But then here's another one that Blade the Iron Cross, which I don't know. I know nothing about, actually. I need to figure out what this actually is. But Purge Anarchy, Pumpkinhead 2, Pyewacket, I think is how, Pyewacket, yeah. Okay. Giant Snake Movie, Python 2, Quarantine 2, Queen of the Damned, Q the Winged Serpent, Raising Cain, Raise, Reanimator. It's actually a screener, but Beyond Reanimator, and The Reaping. Then on to the last shelf here, I have Red Dragon, Red Mist, The Remaining, Repo, Resident Evil. This is just different artwork. Plus, I love these movies. Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil 3, and then it goes into these CGI movies, which I'm not sure which order. I think this is the newest one, if I'm not mistaken. But Rest Stop, Return of the Living Dead, which I have this on Blu-ray, but I love this artwork. I think it's so cool. And then I have just Return of the Living Dead 3. I really need to get Return of the Living Dead 2 at least. But this is Return to House on Haunted Hill, Return to Sleepaway Camp, Revenge, Right at Your Door, The Ring, which is the first horror movie I ever actually saw, The Ring 2, Ring Yua, Ring Yu 2. So these are the original Japanese versions. Rites of Spring. Then this is a Roger Corman horror collection. And so I think I got this at Dollar Tree as well. So it just has like, some random, it's like a multi-feature pack. Rogue, The Roommate, Rose Red, The Ruins, The Sacrament, Salem's Lot, Saw, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, and Saw the final chapter. I always loved these like slip covers with these, how they were like a clear case underneath, and how they all look like saw, like the discs look like saw blades. I don't know, I loved how those looked. So I decided to, you know, have a small Saw collection. I have one with like, it was a blood pack one with like the, you know, floating saw blade on the cover, but all the blood's, you know, dried out. This is the 2-disc unrated edition, the 2-disc unrated edition of Saw 2, 2-disc unrated edition of Saw 3, and then this is just the clear white cases for Saw 1 and Saw 2. So, Scarecrow and Scarecrow Slayer, Scared to Death, Scare Package, which is just like a Shudder, which I have yet to watch this, but I always look out for these Shudder originals. In fact, they're usually pretty good, but Scars of Dracula, I'm sorry. This is a Hammer film, so I need to get more of those. Scream 4, See No Evil, Session 9, seven Deaths in the Cat's Eye, Shadow of the Vampire, Sharknado. This is The Shining. This is the like mini-series version, basically. Shock Treatment, Shredder, Shrooms, Shudder, The Signal, Signs, Silence of the Lambs. This is just kind of a cool, I guess, collector's edition. It has like a lenticular slip on it, or lenticular like piece on it. I don't know what you call those, but Silent Hill, Silent Hill Revelation, Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, Silent Venom. This is basically snakes on a submarine. I need to rewatch this. I feel like it was cheesy, but it was kind of fun. Silent Warning, which again, I don't know if this is a horror movie or not. I have owned this for like, I don't know, 2-3 years, and I have yet to watch it. So let me know in the comments if it's a horror movie or not. But Sinister 2, Sixth Sense, Skeleton Key, which this is another one that I've owned for multiple years, and I've yet to watch it. And this one, actually. Skinwalkers, Slaughter High, Sleepwalkers, Slither, Sometimes They Come Back, and Sometimes They Come Back Again, Sorority Row. This is the remake. I don't have the original, but Species, Species 2, Species 3, and Species 4. Spiders 2, Splice, Splinter, Stage Fright, Stakeland, The Stand, Stay Alive, The Stepfather, Stigmata, Stirs of Echo, which is, again, one that I've owned for, I don't know, I've had that for, I don't know, maybe close to 8 years, and I've yet to watch it, so I really need to get on that. But Stitches, Storage 24, and Storm of the Century. And over here, Storm Warning, Strangeland, The Strangers, Student Bodies, The Stuff, Stung, Sublime, Survival of the Dead, I always mess this one up. Sinjanor, sorry. I always have to like look at the like what it stands for. Taking Lives, A Tale of Two Sisters, Tales of Voodoo, which is, I think it's just a double feature if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, The Tall Man, The Tattooist, Terrifier, Terror Train, Terra Firmer. I should say, I love collecting Texas Chainsaw Massacre artwork as well. So there's going to be quite a bit, but just the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Standard Edition. This is like the Meat Pack Edition. I love this edition. Pioneer Edition. Steelbook. And this is actually a Blu-ray, but it fits better down here. So this is the 40th anniversary edition. And then got Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, which I absolutely love this slipcover because it's like different underneath. And then I also have just the standard Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I missed out on getting the Vinegar Syndrome Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the slipcover, the 4K. Hoping eventually someday I'd like to get it, but got Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. And then these, Next Generation. So I have this one, and this one. These two look almost identical. Very, very, very slight differences in, like, I guess, artwork. It's almost not even noticeable, but I can notice it, so I'm gonna keep all three. Then I got the remake. I got the 2-disc edition, and this does have like the steel plate. I just have it inside of there. The Beginning, Texas Chainsaw, and then this is just like documentary on the series. But Them, The Thing from Another World, Thinner, The Thirst, or no, I'm sorry, this is just Thirst, The Thirst, 13 Ghosts, Thoroughbreeds, oops, 3, Tigers Are Not Afraid. You also may be wondering why there's like little black cases. I should have mentioned this earlier, but I don't know if anybody even noticed this. I have like little black cases here. They're all of them are empty. There's nothing in them. But the way these shelves are, since I custom built them, sometimes the DVDs fit perfect. Like this row, the DVDs fit absolutely perfect because this is slightly thicker than a regular DVD case. And all of these shelves I have had to trim and adjust over the years just for different living situations. So, you know, what might have fit perfectly once, now it doesn't because I've had to adjust them. But so I just have these as spacers basically just to keep it like more of a tighter fit. Because if I don't have it, then it's like there's just a little bit of a looseness to it. And I have these really thin cases, so I figured I'd just put them in there just to make it a little bit more even. But so that's where that ends. But I have a little bit more. I'll try not to get the glare in these. But the Tommyknockers, Toolbox Murders 2, Torment, Tourist Trap, The Toxic Avenger. This is Toxie's triple feature, or yeah, triple terror. Sorry. Trackman. Train to Busan. I'm sorry, I'm butchering some of these titles. Trapped Ashes, Treehouse, Triangle, Trick or Treat. Got Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, which I absolutely love this movie. Tristas. It's like a 4-pack of Twisted Terror. That's why it's under T. Um, Twinks. Yeah. The Unborn, Underwater, Underworld, which this whole series, I've owned, I should say Underworld 1, 2, and 3, I think, or 1, 2, and I don't even know the order. This is another example of some movies I've owned for a long time that I've yet to watch, but Urban Legends, which I promise I watch movies. Some of these movies in here I've just had for a very long time and I just keep putting off, but Vacancy and Vacancy 2, Valentine, Vampire Hunters, Vampires, Van Helsing, Vanishing on 7th Street, Varsity Blood, VFW, VHS, VHS 2, VHS Viral, Victor Crowley, The Village, The Village of the Damned, Vinyan, Virus, Visitors, The Void, Wakewood, Warlock 2, Waxwork and Waxwork 2, Welcome to the Jungle, Wendigo, What Lies Beneath, When a Stranger Calls, Whisper, White Noise 2, Wicked, Windling, Wizard of Gore, Wolf, Wolf Creek 2, Wolfman, Woman in Black, Wrong Turn 4, Wrong Turn 6, You're Next, Yummy, Z, Zombie 2, which is actually the movie Zombie, Zombie Diaries 2, and ending it with ZZYZX, which I don't know if that's an actual name or that's what it's called, but I don't know if it's, I think that's just ZZYZX, ZY, I don't know how you say that. So, and that's it. That is a complete look at all of my horror movies. So let me know what you guys think. I guess let me know what you, if you want to see anything up close and more in depth, I guess. I will be doing a video talking about all the different box sets down the line and kind of like actually going through and showing off each one. This was just going to be kind of like an overview of everything that I had. But yeah, thank you guys. If you stuck around till now, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I do have other horror movies, technically. I mean, I have Laserdiscs, I have CEDs, I have, like I said, like stuff in the Criterion Collection, A24 movies, I'm trying to think, Vestron Video stuff, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Arrow, and some of my favorite directors and stuff like that. So I do have other horror movies, but I figured I'll keep those for another video at another time. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Let me know if there's any movies in here that are, you know, not worth watching. I've not seen everything in my collection. I really wish I have, but, you know, I only have so much time in a day. So, but let me know if there's anything in here that is like really, really cool to check out. And let me know some recommendations too, just based on the stuff that I have, anything that you think that I would like. I'd love to hear it. So, yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.